Bum 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 bum.
Bum 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 bum.
Yay!
Hello
This
Chetna, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Bhuri.
good morning, Pious. And
Chetna, congratulations on feeding Bhuri a deworming medicine
yeah,
directly with your hand,
tricks.
with tricks.
Yeah,
Tricks and treats.
tricks and treats.
That's a good one.
Wait, what is it called?
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Oh, tricks and treat.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. And I feel with these cats more and more over the last 1.5 years, we've done a lot of new things that we never knew we could do.
Absolutely.
What are some of those things? Eyebrows, I'm saying. Eye drops to all the flames was very cool. That like 3 flames. For context, Charu is one of the stray cats we've been looking after for a long time. She has had many litters. Now she's spayed and she's back out in her natural habitat, enjoying herself. She seems to chill a lot, sunbathe a lot, eat well, play around a lot. She seems like one of the happier outside cats.
Yeah.
Like the retired nanny who has nothing to do.
And also, I've seen she has this like aura about her that when she comes, then the other cats go away.
I
And
always
then
called
she
her the
eats and then she goes away. And then
yeah,
the big males, alphas, alu, all of them,
no, she is
they
the
don't interact
queen.
with her.
She's the queen.
Yeah, she comes, eats, and goes.
I always called her the 11 of outside world. Like that aura that she has is of a different level. Even though alpha males right now, they don't stand a chance against her. So one of her litters had 3 orange cats, ginger cats, and we name all the ginger cats we see now, younger ones, after fire. So because fire is fire, and her color is like that. Fire is our third baby who lives with us in our home. We had Agni. He passed away quite young, a while ago. Then we had Sparky, who's also Charu's kid. And then Charu and Sparky had a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Begum looked like Charu, a tabby. And then 3 flames. And we don't know, we call them flame 1, 2, 3. That's what their vet books also say.
Yeah.
One of them passed away, we know, after after he went back out in the wild, after he was with us for a few weeks. So the story is about how we used to put eye drops. They all had conjunctivitis
when they came in.
Yeah. And it started with one of them having conjunctivitis.
Yeah.
And then it spread to the 3 boys. But it did not go to Charu and Begum.
Yeah.
So we would put eye drops in the 3 flames' eyes, maybe 4 or 5 times a day. That was crazy. You remember we used to put them in the oven. Like the old Mirak oven that lives in that storeroom, which is also where they were. So since we couldn't tell kisko de diya eye drop, kisko nahi diya,
they look exactly the same. Yeah, we'd have to keep them in the oven for a little while.
And the oven was not on, just FYI. So yeah, we did that. What else have we done?
But before that was our skills around taking care of cats and interacting with cats are mainly from the outside cats.
Yeah.
The internal cats, we were very comfortable with them. Vet was very much accessible, and we got a lot of stuff done through the vet, which is medicines, all of this.
I would in fact say we were not very comfortable in wanting to. There was because they were our children. I feel like I think of myself as mother to the world. So all animals are my children, but like because these 3 or 4 now, but we are very comfortable with Bhuri. We'll get to that. The initial 3, we were thinking of them just as our babies. Oh, we can't we were very prim and proper with them. No, they shouldn't go through any amount of perceived discomfort at our hands. And they shouldn't think of us as the villains. Like we had all of these notions in our head. And we were also very new. Like before we got 11, I was petrified of animals. So there was that wasn't, it was a journey.
Yeah. And I think the full circle of that journey really came when you got Charu in, right? Which is from a stage where you're incredibly terrified of cats, dogs, and
All
animals before,
including tiny ones. Yeah.
You went and you were able to catch those kittens just by the nape of the neck and bring them in, which is an incredibly tough thing for anyone to do. Like to catch a cat and bring it indoors is, firstly, it's a trust building exercise with that animal, right? We'd built that trust with the mom, and therefore she was very comfortable with bringing her kittens and allowing us near them. But still being able to bring them up, and then what you did with Begum was even crazier.
The Begum story is insane.
Yeah.
So we realized that Begum had fallen down, and I feel like some of that could be my fault because I got excited the day Charu brought Begum and the flames to meet us. So all our strays, what they do is whenever, I feel we're going in so many loops, we'll have to come back and close all of them, but it won't be that tough. So Charu would bring all the cats, all the mama cats, they bring all their babies to see us. I think for that reason, but also to say, अच्छा भाई ये तुम्हारा restaurant है, अब मैं अपनी दुकान बंद कर रही हूँ, no more milk.
Restaurant or hospital?
Restaurant, hospital, boarding, Airbnb. We are also the paravets in some way. So yeah. So she brought them, and I got so excited to see the little one that I went to the first floor of the fire escape, and then the moment I reached there, Begum jumped, and she got a limp because of that. So Charu was keeping Begum in the back always. So whenever we would go and give them food, the flames would come, Charu would come, and then after everybody had eaten, Charu would do a meow, and then Begum would come and eat. And this also we realized after maybe a week of closely observing them. So then when I caught one of the flames, because he seemed like he had bad conjunctivitis, and that was really impromptu. You weren't even home. I was feeding them, and this conjunctivitis filled eye flame looked at me, and we locked eyes, and I don't know what happened. I just grabbed him and brought him in. And then you came, and I was like, yo, do you know what I did? And then you said, oh, let's get all of them in. And then we did the same trick, and we got the two flames in. But Begum was hard to get. One night, do you know that only you remember, the flames were with us. Charu and Begum were outside. No, 2 nights. Then I got worried, because Charu's milk was coming, and I felt like she may get an infection if she has milk for 4 kitties but only has one little Begum with her. So we got Charu in with food. We kept bringing her food closer to the house, opened the main gate, put down her food, and she came rushing in for food, and then I closed the door. That was also quite dramatic. But then the problem was Begum. And then how did we get Begum? You want to tell that story?
That you actually, while Charu was out already, you had recorded her making that call that she makes
to Begum,
to call her kids to her.
Yeah, so, I don't know why I did it. It was intuitive.
Yeah, so you recorded that, and so you were in a situation where Charu was inside, was incredibly hard to get, but her kitten was outside, who absolutely now we needed to get in, otherwise it would be a problem. So anyway, Chetna therefore had this recording, went into this empty house where we knew Begum was. Really, like dark, it's an empty, dingy, dark house, half constructed. There's dust everywhere. There's just like bricks everywhere, wood panels just randomly lying around. Chetna went into the darkness. I'm there behind with the torch. Chetna's there with her phone, playing the sound of Charu on her phone, making that call. Begum comes out a little bit, and then Chetna puts her hand straight into darkness, picks her up from there, and then brings her into the house quickly.
I was so scared.
It was crazy because you could have got a rat.
Exactly. And it was so dark. And no, she didn't just come out. After she came out, she went into some back room. And we went into that back room. And nothing, no light was visible because they had blocked all the open. And this is it's not just empty, but it was also an unconstructed house. So there was a lot of kachra. But we got her. But you know, like when you were saying all of this and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm so cool, it occurred to me, I am good at these bold situations, and I think that's how moms become, because you don't want to put your children, well, I'm not a human mom, so I am human, my kids are not humans. So maybe other moms may not agree with me, but for me, what has happened with our animal babies is that I don't like to see them go through trouble and struggle, but I have realized that me not wanting them to go through something that seems hard for me is actually worse for them in the long run. And somehow you get this courage from within to do. This is not how I am generally, or maybe I am, I don't know, but it suddenly just occurs to me. It occurred to me to just take that video. It occurred to me to play that. It wasn't a plan. It's not something that I had heard from somebody before. So I do that bit well, but you do the bit of looking after them and taking care of them daily, constantly, thinking about them much more than I am capable of doing. And the split skill set between us, and then I learn from you and you learn from me. So firstly, the split skill set really helps us, and secondly, we get to learn from each other. So it's been a bit of a journey to get to this place where we are able to take care of 4 cats in the house right now. Actually, we again have 5. So whatever, 4 to 5 cats in the house, and then maybe around 20 cats outside. Okay, I'm gonna go open the door.
I think this will just pause.
Pause.
Okay, we're back.
After a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And the reason was that it was our cook at the door. And, well, I can never disclose the identity of most of my clients, but in her case, I can. So she's also one of my clients. She doesn't pay me. We have a few non-paying clients, obviously, which does not include Pious.
What?
Like, I am so shameless, I take money from you also. It's okay if she comes. Anyway, so she came in and we started talking, and I ended up giving her a 40-minute session, and then now we're restarting.
We're back.
So back to celebrating how you are an amazing cat dad and caretaker.
And
talk about your feelings when you look after all the babies and all the strays.
I feel I was, even with our own cats, I didn't have that much taking care of instinct as much as it, because they were fine all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they ate their food, they played around, they didn't have troubles, they didn't have like any daily care that was needed. But when these cats came, first when the cats came outside, they were...
and we also had full-time help at that time.
Yeah, we had full-time. We had full-time help. So...
it's like...
Yeah, that's a big change also.
Yeah.
So, when the flames came, then this thing of doing something on a time schedule regularly, which is giving them medicine, which is giving them food multiple times, which is making sure, like, it's a small room and there's for a
family of 5 cats.
Yeah, there's 5 cats in that room. So making sure it was clean, also making sure they're not eating up like the stuff that is in the storeroom also.
Oh yeah.
Checking on that, making sure, there was a really strictish schedule that you couldn't, like, if you were delayed also, they were really hungry also all the time because they came as babies, right?
Yeah.
So if you didn't give them something on time also, then you'd start like hearing violence in the storeroom. So
violence means just loud meows.
Yeah, loud meows. So that created a discipline of care also, and also like each time I'd go and meet them, I know they'd be there alone, and then so just seeing them also brought a lot of love in me each time.
Yeah, it feels when you see your indoor cats that you're taking care of in as pet parents, you don't feel that, oh my god, they are caged, because you are looking after absolutely every need of them and also giving them that emotional support. But when you are fostering someone, or you're fostering so many at a time, I used to feel that, my god, these are like wild, like, you know, cats of the outside, and I am keeping them in because of what I believe is good for them. There was a lot of dilemma of that nature in me at that time. But back to your point of, when you see them indoors and you want to go the extra mile to make them feel safe and comfortable.
And then so I think I went through a cycle of that at some time feeling very stressful also. And once when we finally got them neutered, vaccinated, and let them out, and when after a little while, the first one we saw, one of them had passed away in front of our house, I got really sad then. And because it was a cat that I saw
and looked
every
after
day
for months.
That was really tough, but it gave me that perspective more clearer than any other time, that with these cats that we're interacting with, there's only the time that you're seeing them. Like, you can do your best for them when they're in front of you. You cherish them when they're in front of you, because you don't know, like, cats just disappear for months also.
Like Charu, after she left after that set, she didn't come back for a couple of weeks, and then when she came back and I first saw her, and we have that reel also where I said, Charu, are you looking after Begum? And then she gave me that side eye, which I don't know what that meant. But but that's how it's with everybody also, Pious. I think that is why you and I come back to saying that I want to be deeply involved in my now. Because this is what I know to be true for sure, in the now, in the flesh. Like, this is the experience that you can have in 180 degree or 360, whatever. You can have a full life experience of this. Every other experience, a thought, a missing, a feeling, an emotion, they are all, you can't have it in, you can, well, if you're practiced at that level, but outside of that, this is your experience at all levels, including flesh and bone.
And that
I think being with the cats taught us that.
Completely. It like actually experiencing losing a couple of the outside cats.
I think we've buried at least 6-7 with our own hands, and then so many have gotten buried by the NGO that we were first working with, and now we're not. Now we're just doing it and financing it all ourselves. Anyway,
so that experience with Flame, experience with so many of the others, that then when Baby Potato came in our lives,
oh my God,
she came like she had broken her neck, and we got her in, and
so who is Baby Potato? Baby Potato is Potato's daughter. And she has 2 siblings, Chota Aloo and Cubu, and they all 3 lived very different lives. 2 of them are still around. Baby Potato passed away on the 11th of Jan. She had been with us from October, when she was maybe 20 days old and 500 grams.
And
she came with a neck injury. Her mom got her. Aloo got her to our gate.
She had a neck injury. The first week we didn't know at all whether she would survive, and we didn't know what impact her neck injury was.
Actually, the first 2 days we didn't realize that she had a neck injury. Nobody did, even the vet did not. Then when we did an X-ray on the 3rd day and got her admitted, of the first 2 days, the sun saved her, to be honest. I don't know why it occurred to me, like I said, that mommy vibe. It occurred to me that we have to keep her in the sun.
Yeah.
And Ritvik came down, one of our neighborhood kids. We have lots of neighborhood kids that we hang out with. And the three of us just kept her out in the sun. And then Alu tried to come and take her back.
Yeah.
Because we had taken her to a nearby vet and given her something, so which made the baby feel a little better. Alu tried and take her, so moms will always grab the baby by the nape. And when Alu was taking her, this baby was like shouting suddenly. And that's when we realized, that's when we were telling this to a vet, she was like, oh, maybe there's a neck issue. And that's when they took the x-ray and we found out.
Yeah. No, and
so yeah, that first week was crazy.
Yeah, and after that, when she got on a schedule of meds, there was lots of strong meds she had to get to recover from the fits that she was getting.
Because of the spinal injury.
And then that would create problems of its own, that medicine.
That medicine was, I had a hate-love relationship with it, because it kept her alive and it kept her safe and kept her happy and eating and playing, but it also sort of gave her other issues.
Yeah. So when she had a whole schedule of medicines that she would get, and each time I went to her, then I'd wrap her up in a little blanket, turn her towards me and give her, hand feed her those medicines, right? And she would look up incredibly cutely.
Oh my God! Yeah.
She was so. She was just so small. She was the smallest we'd ever seen a kitten also. Like, all of our cats came much older
3
to
months
us.
Ish.
All of our
Flames
house
were
cats.
2 months.
Yeah.
She was 20 days, maybe.
So she was really small. And with her there was a full circle. Even like we had to get her to pee and poop
Oh
in
yeah,
the early days
initially
because
she
she was so
little.
small.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah.
So like that with everything. But my experience of taking care of baby potato and was that I cherished those few moments with her a lot, deeper, and because she was that unwell, there was this uncertainty that was there with her.
It would come and go.
It would come and go.
Because when she was really unwell, in the beginning, though we didn't know, when we left her at the vet on the 3rd day, I feel I was pretty prepared ki acha, they'll call us in a day or two. And then every day we would call them and they'd say, okay, we can wait another day, maybe. And day 5, she was okay.
Yeah.
Like, they said, okay, we give her these medicines and she can actually survive. And our hope was that once she hit 14 months, her spinal cavity would be the largest size that it would be. And maybe her recurring fits would not come, therefore. But anyway, yeah. So that became our goal then. That okay, let's get her to 14 months. Let's take care of her, and maybe at that point, she can be free from epilepsy.
Yeah.
But that wasn't to be. So there is no regret about that in me. It's again, right, being in that moment and being the most involved in that moment that you can be and doing your best in that moment. And we really did that with her at every stage. She went to the vet and stayed maybe 4-5 days, multiple times. Each time she would get fits. We didn't get to the point where we could even figure out what her trigger was because we didn't get that much time. But yeah. So I'm glad that she doesn't have to struggle anymore. I'm glad that she gets a brand new body, if that's what happens. I'm glad that so many people, so many kids got to see her, got happiness from her.
Yeah.
There was a kid who came and made a little house for her.
Little house. And there was one who pre-adopted her. Said he would take her in 2 years.
2 years, one when he was 4 years, when he's 10. And we are supposed to keep her for him for 4 years. Okay.
Okay, pausing.
Pause.
Okay, we're back from giving the gaadi ki chabi.
So, baby potato and
Kids.
I just want to take a couple
of
minutes to talk about baby potato.
Yeah.
And then we go back to kids and what your experience with looking after all these cats has been. Baby Potato, what do you want to say, Pious?
I feel incredibly sad that she has gone from us, and I feel we were talking about it yesterday, but about feeling lucky to feel so sad also. Like I don't think I've cared too much. Like I'm very like here and now sort of person, and I'm not allowed myself to care about other beings.
I think there's a difference between here and now and compartmentalizing. That was compartmentalized. The earlier Pious was compartmentalizing. Here and now is different.
Yeah, completely.
I just
explaining it that way. So I feel very lucky to firstly allow myself to feel so much love towards her, and because I didn't have that also, and then that I feel lucky to feel so like I feel really sad when just suddenly like I'm doing something and like a memory of her comes up, just I'm passing, like leaving the house, and then there's I just think about that point of time. That sadness, I feel the sadness, but I'm happy feeling that sadness. And
I know what you mean. I was telling somebody, they said it sucks. I know it sucks, but it doesn't suck. It's just beautifully sad. It's really sad, but it's really beautiful. I did not, like for a while, I think since my dad passed away, I've sort of started to know this feeling, but with this tremendous force, I have not known that sadness is also beautiful. Because we tend to feel, maybe not because, but I believe because we tend to feel that when I'm sad, it's unfair to me somehow. There's a lot of associated thoughts and feelings that come up. But I don't feel this is unfair. She was probably going to pass away at 20 days. She had 4 months. We had those 4 months. Yes, she had some days of trouble, but most of the days she didn't know. She was not well. She didn't care. She wanted to play. She wanted to have fun. She wanted to eat. She wanted to like just
relax in the sun.
Relax in the sun. She gave her sister company, and then her sister got adopted. So many, like we already said, did we say? I don't know, because we also had to delete one recording where we accidentally gave out our entire address. But so kids, oh my god, 20-30 kids got happiness from her. We've not even started telling them that she's passed away. One of the kids who was extremely close to her knows. And how beautiful was that time, right? Like she came over. She was not there for a week, that kid. She had gone to her nanny's house. That's the time in which Baby Potato fell sick and passed away. The kid came back the same day. Her mom told her at night. She cried a lot. But then she came to our house and she did not cry at all. She spent half an hour, 40 minutes trying to make you and me laugh. And we tried to spend that time making her laugh. Nobody mentioned Baby Potato. We all gave each other really, really long hugs. And it was all about Baby Potato. This beauty is not, this is priceless. And this is also something we get when we take care of these, when we get to take care of these animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whew. Okay, but this whole topic was there because we were talking about how I do those crazy big things and you're the one who does the consistent activities. But now, over time, you are able to do more and more of the crazy big things, and I'm able to have the discipline to do more and more of the consistent things. And I feel taking care of these animals has also helped you and me learn more and learn in a better way from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and we started this also talking about Bhuri, which I don't even know whether that you just gave her the deworming medicine.
Oh yeah, we never finished that loop.
Yeah, that's the first
because
loop
that was a
started.
Personal victory for us.
Yeah.
We've not been able to feed or cut nails of our own cats ever. Once I cut one paw of 11's and I posted that, and then I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't have posted that, because after that I wasn't able to do the 3 remaining paws. This was early days of cats and cats on Instagram and all that. Yeah. But since we're talking about this, and since I know that maybe at least some people are going to eventually hear this, I want to say that you and I do this work which we call right now only #SaveCats, #SaveHumans. And why do we do it according to you?
Because they come to us, really. Like for me, it is just that. It's the simplicity of that. I can see that they came into our lives and they rely on us. I personally love the interactions I have with them. They're hanging around the whole apartment complex. You can go near them, they'll make a little meow. They're just... They're
ready to interact with you.
Yeah. They're so close, and trusting that, like you said, right, they come and show their babies proudly to us. When they're unwell, they by themselves come to us.
When it's cold,
so
they sleep on our porch. Yeah.
That relationship with wild nature cats and wild nature broadly is just beautiful, and I love that. It's changed me in so many ways in appreciating the connectedness with nature also. To know that there's actually because we're taking care of the moms and the grandmoms
and
cats,
the great grandparents,
the kittens are
naturally born trusting of us. My God.
And just knowing that there's that energy exchange that's happening between us and nature is beautiful, and I love that, and
I love that, like how you said that. It also, I'm realizing this now, that it also helps, like as humans, before we were living this more current life that you and I are living, we were also very much, I don't even know how to put it, but we were not very close to nature, so to speak. And I think that when your life has become like that, sedentary, when your life has become like that over a period of time, which ours definitely had, you forget that you are also nature. Completely forget. You think there's nature, and then I have an option of being with nature or not being with nature, but it's not that. You are nature. So if you choose the option of not being in nature or with nature, nature is going to then do things in you. Like the part of, you can say, oh, I'm not nature. You can deny that thought. But the part of you that's nature, in the distance from its natural habitat, is going to react, and it's going to, and that's what today we call lifestyle diseases, and that's a whole nother topic, so I won't open that right now. But I realized that through spending so much time in nature, again another topic, but through looking after these cats, we got closer to nature also, which then in turn, because you look at these cats and you realize, my God, they have the same needs as me, exact same needs: hunger, sleep, sex, children, earning. They also need to earn. It's just not in rupees or dollars or whatever currency you're experiencing, but they need to earn their food. They need to budget. I have 5 kids.
Okay, we got cut again. Okay, we're a little long.
Now we wrap.
Now we wrap.
Final thoughts, Pious.
final thoughts are very grateful for being closer to nature, very grateful for being closer, like appreciating cats more and more and more. Like having these cats outside that we take care of made me really appreciate the cats that we have inside the house more. See, like, and we see so many cats right now. I love seeing the subtleties of how they are different in their personalities and their behavior and how they interact with us, how they interact with themselves. I just love seeing so much character and personality in all these individual
just
cats.
how they walk, you can tell is that Abhimanyu or Arjun. Abhimanyu is Arjun's son. Their names are largely, there's a section of the cats whose names are from the
Mahabharata, and then there's some random ones, but mainly there's the Pandavas.
Yeah, because we were watching the Mahabharata when we moved into this new house and rewatching the old B.R. Chopra Mahabharata. Do you feel like a lot of people listening to us? Now I feel like we're one of those YouTubers taking votes, but I really just suddenly had a thought, because never before you had a sample size like this. But do you think more people that are listening have watched B.R. Chopra Mahabharata versus
probably.
not? I think because if they're our age or older, they have.
Then they have.
If they are considerably younger, then only they haven't, which I believe would not be the case.
Anyone that's grown up in India would have seen.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
That's my assumption.
I feel both of our lives are so shaped by the Mahabharata.
Yeah.
That is also another topic. While I'm saying that I want to keep it super authentic and it'll always be like that, but just the fact that we're recording and we're actively doing it with the knowledge that we may probably put it out. Wow, I have like serious commitment issues. Other than with you, with the whole world and every idea. Anyway, these like this is how everything works, right? You put focus on it and then more and more just comes at you. So like all of these, because when we talk, we don't make a list of topics and talk. Now we just talk. But now because we're trying to make it so that it makes some sense to people.
It's the platform or how you are presenting the content starts then doing a backflow of stuff. Like when I take a lot of photos on Instagram, automatically I see photos and I see opportunities for photos tremendously more. Now when you know that there's a podcast that exists, there's a channel gets formed in your mind, then the backflow of what all can be done with that automatically happens.
So that's a great feature of the mind, and that feature can get you into trouble. More on that on a different podcast episode. I don't know if we'll do that.
No, I think I wrote in my blog that frames. I don't even remember what I wrote in that blog post titled Frames, but I think it was exactly about this only.
Yeah. I remembered your blog post when we were talking about this. Wait, I want to say, I like that we've again talked about the mind in some way, because if you remember before, the tagline was, I help people realize the power of their awareness. I used to think, I don't remember how it was worded, but I used to think of the work I do as the mind is a maze and I am the maze master or something like that. Maze runner? No, what?
No, help people get out of the maze. Of the mind.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I like it when we come back, because what else will you do, right? You're experiencing your whole life with your mind.
Yeah.
Understanding it a little more will definitely help you.
Yeah.
I feel that's a wrap. I can't.
Yeah. With you, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, my God, baby potato, blessing. Like when we finally, when we brought her back from the vet after she had passed and we did her funeral, that was very touching to me. It was a very sad moment, but I had the awareness and the presence to go and pluck every individual flower individually from our garden for her funeral. I don't pluck flowers, but it didn't feel wrong this time. And that's the sensitivity that I talk about, right? When you create that sensitivity. You know when to do something and when not to do something. I never pluck flowers. Principally, if somebody gifts me flowers also, I don't like it. But for this, I went and plucked it from. Then we put the incense. We all chanted for her peace. There were neighbors that came. They had it was a busy morning for them, I'm sure. But they took out time to come because they had gotten attached to her. I mean, it was a little proper funeral. And I have lots of thoughts. I'm not going to say any of them. This is the only final thing I want to say. That I feel that there are a lot of human beings and a lot of other animals that don't get the love, care, and send off that baby potato got. And she deserved every bit of it. And everybody deserves every bit of it. And so I hope that whatever this save cats, save humans thing is, in some way inspires what baby potato got to be gotten by more people. Even if this is the last thing that we do associated with it.
What baby potato got and what everyone that interacted with
of
her
course,
got, right?
Of course.
That's the same,
of course.
same
yes,
movement.
no, I'm talking about it from a, make it about a story and a perspective from that way. Like, there's not hungry children in Africa, but there's this one hungry child in Africa. From that perspective, like, because baby potato's individual story can be somebody else's individual story. So from their perspective, they can relate. But everybody is richer because of this experience. Everybody involved. And there cannot be anything more beautiful than that. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.